Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the activity library and how to create your own activities for your students on Seesaw. Right now I am on my normal Seesaw classroom page and I'm actually under the activities, and since I have none, it's prompting me to browse the activity library. However, once you start sharing activities, you're not going to see this button as an option anymore. So the general way of going is to hit this green add button at the top, and you're going to hit the second option, assign activity. Here you are now directed to your library. You can see by the tabs here, my library, and then we have a community tab, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Your library is where all of your saved activities and all activities you have created will appear. If you scroll down, you'll see that you have an area called My Collections. This is where you can create up to 10 different folders to help organize your activities, to help make it a little bit easier to find what it is that you're looking for from years to come. You can also use the search bar to search different activity titles if you know what you're looking for. You also have the option to search by subject and grade levels if you have different grade level activities saved. Your first option is always going to be create a new activity once you open up the library. If you hit the community tab, you are now going to see a plethora of activities for you to choose from. I selected when I created this account that I was a second grade teacher, but if I wanted to differentiate for my students, you're going to go up here and you can actually select any grade level you would like if you're not really finding what you want for your students in the second grade category. The community library is where a bunch of Seesaw ambassadors and other Seesaw developers post assignments that they have created that they believe is an excellent activity for you to use in your own classroom. If you are only using Seesaw, the free version, then there are certain features that you might not be able to use when you are creating your own activity. But the great thing about the community library is that if someone is sharing an activity with features that you don't have access to, you're still going to be able to have your students use those features because it's somebody else's activity that they have created. Currently, this is all subjects, so these are just popular activities that are showing up for second grade. But you're always going to see getting started in Seesaw with whatever grade level that you're using. They have a new remote learning tab and some home learning ideas for K through 5th grade. During this school year, you might notice that these second two options may change depending on the holidays that are coming around. So for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day or the 100th day of school, these things will pop up as popular activities are being compiled for those special times of the year. You can also see trending searches of what other people are looking for in second grade. If you already know kind of what you're going for, maybe you want students to research text features, then you can go ahead and search text features. And any person that has created a second grade assignment that matches text features, you're going to be able to scroll and find it. I'm going to select on this first option and see what it is about. I'm seeing, let's see, the directions. Tap the add response, tap the tool to move the words onto book pages. So this activity is going to help them decide where all of these text features are on these nonfiction pages. If this is an assignment that you think you want your students to do to show you their understanding of text features, then you can click on this heart button to add it to your library. If you already know that this is 100% what you want and you don't want to make any changes to it, then you can hit the green assign button as well, and it will automatically assign it to your class, or you can hit the schedule option and choose a different day if you're using Seesaw Plus. If you're using Seesaw for free, then you have to assign it right away or wait until the day you want to assign it to your students. If you're not 100% happy with the way this assignment is designed, but you like how most of it is set up, then you can go down to these three dots in the bottom corner of the activity, and it's going to give you the option to copy and edit. Once you do that, it automatically opens up the edit section where you can go and you can change the name of the activity. You can change the instructions or add more onto it, or get rid of something that you don't like. One of my favorite features is that I actually like to add voice instructions and read the directions out loud, so that way my students definitely know what my expectations are for this activity. All you have to do is click it and hit the microphone button, and it gives you 2 minutes to explain exactly what the directions are. So I might say, 1, tap the add button. 2, tap the label tool and move the words onto the book pages to label the text features. 3, tap the mic and answer the question, what is nonfiction? And 4, tap the check to add to your journal. Hit the pause button when you are finished, and it's automatically going to upload your new voice instructions to the assignment. If you want, you can listen to it. If you don't like it, you can always hit the delete button and try again. You can also download these voice instructions if you wanted to. Down here, you'll see that there's a student template, which is the actual assignment that the students are going to edit. If you are okay with this, then you can leave it alone. But if you wanted to change the color of the labels, then you can. If you wanted to use a different nonfiction text, then you can always delete it and upload your own. You can, if you have the Seesaw Plus version or Seesaw for Schools, then you can add pages. You can even add multimedia instructions or an example. So if you have a video of text features and you want students to watch that video, or you want to teach your own video by having your face and a whiteboard or something behind you, then you can use that feature as well. I'm going to go into more detail on all of these different features in a separate video. But once you are happy with the activity, you're just going to save it. And now you'll see that it has my name over here. So, and it has my instructions. So I can assign it to my class. And I can even view my activity right away if I want to. Or I can X out to remain on the library. You can see here now that I have the original creator as their activity, but then I also have the activity on how I edited it. Once I'm ready, I can click at the top right, back to class, and it's going to bring me back to my classroom. And you can see now under my activities tab, my first activity. The journal is still going to be empty until one of your students completes the activity. So I'm going to complete it under the sample student, just to model for you what it will look like for you. So I might drag these different things around. I'm all done. So now in my journal, you're going to see that this is what it looks like. Because I did the sample student and it was me that did it, it didn't prompt me to accept or approve any of the assignments. But generally at the bottom, you'll see a little bar saying that you have one or more assignments that are needing approval, and it will have a review button for you to click on so you can look through your students' assignments and approve them to your journal. If you click on each student, it will show you a collection of their assignments. And Seesaw just created a new feature where it will show you the date the student was last active. I'm going to go back to my library and quickly go through the basics on how you can create your own activity. So now we're back in the activity library. As I said, the first option is always to create a new one. And it's going to set you up with a completely blank slate. You have to give your activity a title. I'm going to have my students retell a story. And you can type out your directions to be whatever you want them to be. There is a Seesaw icon shortcut. So if you see I did : add : that's going to allow the picture to show up in the student directions. So that way they have a more pictorial aid to help them know which buttons they should be clicking on to complete the activity. If you Google Seesaw icon shortcuts, you should be able to find a website or an image that you can save to your computer. So that way you can always look on it for support. I'm going to want my students to listen to a story and then fill out the retell template so I can see that they understand how to retell the beginning, middle, and end of a story. After they're done filling out the template, I actually want them to use the label tool to do this, not the drawing one. I want them to type it, so I'm going to put label. And then I want them to use the microphone to record themselves retelling the story to me. Once they're done, I want them to hit the green check to add to their journal. And again, I'm going to add my voice instructions. First, hit the green add button, then listen to the story. Once you're finished listening to the story, use the T label button to fill out the retell template. 4, hit the microphone button to record yourself retelling the story. And when you're finished, hit the green check to add to your journal. So once your voice instructions have processed, this is going to be your time that you can add your multimedia instructions or example. This is going to be where you put any video you want them to watch, whether it's a YouTube video or a video you have created yourself on your computer. Like a drawing you want them to look at, or a picture, anything. Any of these options is where they're going to look at your example first, and it is not the one that they are going to edit. This is just like a teacher example, a space for you to give more directions or more information for them to look at before they complete the assignment. Since I'm going to have them listen to a story, I'm going to click on the link, and this is where I'm going to enter a URL link. So if I go to YouTube, I can find anything that I want. Maybe I want them to listen to the Three Little Pigs. And you can pick whatever one. I really like this telling of the Three Little Pigs story. It's like it too. So I'm going to pull the URL at the top and copy, come back to my activity and paste. You hit the green check or you can hit enter, and it's automatically going to pull up the preview. From here, you could record additional instructions that you want or add a caption reminding them what they're supposed to do, or you can leave it blank and continue with the activity. So now they have their instructions and the video that they're going to watch. The final step you're going to do is to add a template for them to respond. You can create a drawing that they're going to add onto a video. You can have them respond on a note and just have them write in the beginning ... and have them continue and then move on down here in the middle in the end. If that's how you want them to do it. I have a file that I have created, and I'm just going to find it, my retail template. You can add up to 9 photos, or sorry, up to 10 photos. You can even search for a template that you've created on Google Drive, which is super neat. Here I have my template that students can now type using the label tool and put, who we are. We have in the beginning, and they can keep going. They can hit the label tool again and drag it down in the middle, and so on. Anything you leave here though, so like if I leave these 2 things in the beginning and the middle, this is going to show up for them on their template. And I don't want that. I just want it to be empty. So I'm going to leave it like this, hit the green check because that's all I wanted to do. And now my students can listen to my instructions, watch their video, and fill out the template to show me they understand how to retell. Once I'm done, I'm going to hit save. And it gives me the option to assign it. It automatically likes it because you created it. If I only want certain students to do this activity, I could click on the select students option and just select who I want, but I want all of my students to have access to it. So I'm going to assign to the class. I'm going to view my activity, and here it is. That is just one way out of multiple different options for you to create an activity in Seesaw. I strongly encourage that you play around with all of the different features and figure out some different ways that you can create different activities in Seesaw for your students to do. The opportunities are endless, and students are going to figure out so many cool ways to show you what they know, probably better than you can ask them to show what they know. So allow them to kind of take control sometimes, and honestly let them teach you something new, because even though I've been using Seesaw for a while, they're still teaching me new things every time, and I love learning from them. I hope this helps get you started with some basic activities, and I hope you have fun exploring all the potential things you can do with Seesaw.